reduced to 6 months. And even within when INEC has 1 year, they have nightmare problems. They have problems of litigation here, other problems there, printing of ballots, demarcation, delineation, moving things, that on election day, you can wait hours waiting for, at the polling unit, waiting for.
Good day, everybody. We're here again. 7 continents of the world: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, North America, South America. The world is changing. New world order everywhere. But then we can never forget the country with the largest concentration of Black people on the planet, motherland Nigeria. 1 out of every 4 sub-Saharan African is a Nigerian. That's a lot. That means all the Africans in the continent minus the Maghrebian nations. 1 out of every 6 Black persons in the whole world is a Nigerian. So whether Nigeria is acting behind schedule or not, Nigeria is clearly a parameter and a yardstick for measuring so many things, in humanity. 7 out of 10 Black doctors in the United States are of Nigerian origin. So clearly the manpower is not a problem. I mean, it's looking every day like there's a leadership failure, but there is a process for electing leaders, which is by voting, and in Nigeria in the past, the elections were free but not fair. But right now, it's looking like it's not free and it's not fair. So that's why today I'm bringing to you a guest who has been a presidential candidate, who could have been president. Possibly if the election was fair, I don't know. But he's running he ran for president. He will run again. And so he will know if the elections are properly done or not. And of course, in recent times, we've seen what the Senate did to the new Electoral Act, e-transfer, and what have you. So let's discuss. Can we ever have free and fair election in Nigeria? The imperative of having one. That's why today we have Prince Adewole Adebayo, the former presidential candidate of SDP, and possibly the next presidential candidate of SDP. Prince Adewale, welcome to State of the Nation on the Atlanta Discuss channel.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Same
and
here.
God bless Nigeria. And God bless you who are in the United States over there.
Amen, amen. So let's cut the chase. There's a lot happening, and I mean, a lot of people want to hear what you have to say. You've been speaking recently, and a lot of what you have said have gone viral and all that. So my first question to you is that what does a free and fair election mean in practical terms for Nigeria in 2027? That's my first question to you.
What it means basically is that you make the rules fair, predictable,
okay,
accessible, and democratic.
Okay.
Then every player on the field has to obey the same rules. And those who are in charge of the election, starting with the INEC, the electoral body, law enforcement agencies, and ultimately the judiciary, if they are called into it, apply the rules independently, neutrally, and fairly.
Okay.
And everyone who is participating will agree that if I win or lose based on these rules, I will accept.
Okay.
But ultimately, the people on whose behalf government is formed and on whose authority government is formed will be convinced just by looking at it that the winner is a product of the majority of their own choice. And they would accept that government as their own creation.
Okay.
And in good times and in bad times, when good decisions are made, when errors are made, the people will own that government. They will own that and say, well, that's the person we put there.
Mm.
And they will reserve that power to say, well, we can change our mind. We can put another person there. Those are the rules that we set. That's why you can say you have free, fair, and credible elections.
Okay, fair enough. So, which single reform would most reduce rigging in Nigeria? Is it a transfer, stronger prosecution, or internal party democracy, or what type of reforms do you think will? Yeah.
Just like there is no one single cure.
Okay.
We have general principles. Once you abide by those general principles, then you can take measures to address observed happenings that violate the rules. For example, mutilating election results, switching results after the votes have been counted and the result declared is the reason why we came up with electronic transmission. Because with electronic transmission, it is believed that the incentive to try to change the result and the battle royale that you find at collation centers, where we're supposed to all know arithmetic. So a collation should be very simple. Should be like when you go to a bank to withdraw money or pay money in. You and the bank teller, you are not at war with each other. You know, so they put the money in the counting machine. They count the money. Then they add it up and write. You also see it. Then the bank tells you, sign here. If you are satisfied that it's okay, you sign there. There's no war. That's how collation should be. Collation should be that I, as SDP, have collected my research sheets from my various agents. I know what I scored. The other person who is APC, he knows what he scored. The PDP, whoever, whichever party, each person knows what they scored. We're just coming to the collation center to try to support each other, or correct each other, audit each other. If your arithmetic is wrong, I'll say, no, that's not the calculation. Or if there are some ballots that we contested at the polling unit, maybe it wasn't so clear, it was condemned. So if there's a result sheet from, say, one polling unit that has 7 voided ballots, we can come to the collation center and argue with the superior that this particular one is not supposed to be voided. So things like that. But right now what they do is, it doesn't matter what happened in the polling unit, the battle royale is in the collation center. Now, and then when you finish at that ward collation center, which you call RA, you now go to the local government collation center again. Another battle begins there because they can get there and ignore everything that was done before and change it over. And then when you get to the state collation of a center where the resident electoral commissioner is, like you saw in the case of Adamawa, then everybody is now at war again. So who is on this side, who is on that side? So it's too primitive and it's too criminal. So we thought that should change. But dealing with issue of not buying votes, electronic transmission of results will not address buying and selling of votes. So that one has to be addressed on its own separately, because that's pure crime, right in the open. Then the issue of internal democracy of political parties and all of that, that needs to be addressed. The issue of campaign finance needs to be addressed. Violence needs to be addressed and things like that. So it's a cocktail of solutions, but we all know that what we are looking for is a civilized society where everybody who is going into the business of politics or anything related to public service knows that, look, wise or not wise, foolish or geniuses, you cannot get power, cannot access power except through the voters. So in America, you can be a Democrat and you think MAGAs are the dumbest people on the planet. But you know that it's their right to vote for who they like. And you can be a Republican and think that the liberals, they have lost it completely. But you know that it is their right to choose their leaders.
What they want.
So the election doesn't have to come out in your favor. But what it means is that you know that, okay, that due to the stupidity of the voters, due to the cleverness of the politician, of my opponent, he got more votes than me. That you can live with. Then you try next time. But in a situation where what the voters think does not matter, where we just do the elections as a ritual. And it is not the case that electronic transmission is the solution to all problems, or that if elections are rigged, that's the reason why you lost. But the mere presence of such impurities as rigging is absolutely unacceptable to a civilized society that wants to make honesty the hallmark of dealing with things generally. Because anyone who rigs themselves through an election into power, they are going to steal your money. They are going to rig your tax bill. They are going to rig appointment. They are going to rig ambassadorial nomination. They are going to continue like that, and they will train more people and reward them for their ability to commit these crimes against the state. So, and then more than any other thing, it makes honest people not want to waste their time, because it's now becoming a waste in electioneering. In the last election, for example, that's not the reason why I didn't become president. I just couldn't summon enough votes. However, in a particular state, I got 122,000 votes in the polling units. INEC announced 22,000.
Oh, wow.
So I knew that even if I claim back my 100,000 votes, I still don't add it to what INEC gave to me and then go around and fight and get some back. I will not still be the person who won the highest votes. So I didn't bother to go to court. But I highlighted it and I said, we need to correct it. But why I'm bringing it up is that in that state now, when I went back there after the election to thank them, I, who lost the election, I was not in tears. But those people who worked for me were in tears. They felt cheated, they felt annoyed, they felt robbed. And I have voice notes where they were cussing out almost everybody involved in the election, saying very, very unrepeatable placing curses. Because when I started confronting them, they said, no, we won this state. We don't care about any other state. But this state, we worked hard and we won it. So if we lose the rest, we don't care. But here, we don't want to be cheated. And now we are back to that state. It's become very difficult to get the same people to work again. They're just telling me, look, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to have a heart attack. These people are going to rig it. So, and if your citizens have that kind of cynical and skeptical approach to civic responsibility, like mobilizing for vote and all of that, then you don't have a democracy. And if you don't have a democracy in this modern time, you have nothing.
Wow. So let's go to the law the Senate passed. What exactly in the new electoral amendment, do you oppose, and which clauses are most dangerous in your views?
There are many of them.
All right. Okay.
For example, to me, the most irritating is for you to reduce the sanctions, the punishment for vote buyers, vote sellers, election riggers, perpetrators of violence. You are not supposed to, as a lawmaking body, you are not supposed to go and say, if you go and undermine democracy by selling votes, buying votes, by forging and altering documents, by using violence to scatter election processes and all of that, that the National Assembly of that country is reducing your sentence, your the sanction, the punishment in the law. What are you saying? You are saying that you are encouraging people to get into it. So that's the same country where if you plan a coup, if you attempt to plan a coup against the government, you can go to life imprisonment. You can even get shot. But if you are a politician and you are sabotaging the democracy like that, even the 10-year imprisonment, it's in the law, you want to reduce it. That to me is signal a moral failure. A signal that this set of people who are there now want to asphyxiate democracy. And they don't even want to make attempt at trying to convince the people to be on their side. They just want to say, we end the idea of free and fair election. I want to intimidate the people. The other thing that annoys me is trying to create logistical problems for INEC. INEC today announced the election dates. They issued the notice of election today.
Yes, saw that.
Because they need to do it not less than a year to the election date. These guys in the National Assembly, for some crazy reasons, want to reduce to 6 months. And even when INEC has 1 year, they have nightmare problems. They have problems of litigation here, other problems there, printing of ballots, demarcation, delineation, moving things, that on election day, you can wait hours waiting for, at the polling unit, waiting for them to come, and they will say, we had this problem, we had that problem, not enough time. So these people know. So they go further again now to try to shorten the time. So that shows that they deliberately want to make the election to fail. Then the issue of electronic transmission. How is that a problem? Then they started to think of any excuse to give. And having spent millions of billions of taxpayers' money to do public hearings, to do all of these things, to keep punting forward. This thing they are arguing about, they should have done it last year, so that we will all know the rules of the game ahead of time, and everybody will know where to place themselves. They didn't. They wanted to keep us guessing. And at the end of the day, they said we should go back to the original position we found ourselves, where electronic transmission was voluntary, was anybody who wants to do it can do it. If you don't want to do it, there's nothing anybody can do about it. We said we don't want that. We want a system that makes it mandatory. Then they went into all sorts of excuses and all of that. So those are the things, apart from the general problems that are not in the Electoral Act, but they are in the Constitution, that we should deal with, that when I become president, I will deal with them. Which is basically that it is asking for too much to say that a person who is likely to be contesting an election or has interest in the outcome of the election will be the one appointing all the people in charge of the election.
Mm.
So we had the Ways panel
Mm.
that had a report that says, okay, if you don't want that, then right from the beginning, make the appointment of the commissioners and the chairman of INEC free from government interference, and try to subject it to a lot of public scrutiny. So that anybody can come and say, I'm Adebalogun, I have a good record of neutrality, I have expertise, I apply for the job. Then they will interview everybody and publish it in the papers. So someone say, oh, I know this gentleman, he was one of those people harassing people in Fulton County, that they should add a few more votes to the other side. How is he coming to Nigeria now? The people will speak, things like that. And then you will be disqualified. At the end of the day, independently, you'll be chosen. But they're not doing that. So there are many things, but let us be pragmatic, realistic, because the president has already appointed all the commissioners. The chairman himself started a few months ago. They have over 5 years to go. So they will conduct this election, 2027, and they will conduct the one of 2031. Okay. So in that kind of setting, except when someone like me become the leader of the country, that's when I will do constitutional amendment, because at least if those are the things that don't cost money, if I'm going to build a station to carry Nigerians to the moon and to Mars, I need money. But to teach Nigerians honesty and to demonstrate it, I don't need money. So you start your governance from things that money cannot buy, and you just need to show leadership. So those are the things which that are concerned to me.
All right. Supporters of the Senate approach to the whole thing, they say that, there must always be a manual fallback, that is necessary when network fails. And what's your response, and what safeguard will you accept?
They are making a mistake. The problem they are trying to solve has been solved already. So it's like someone says, oh, there should be a safeguard if the heaven falls. Things like that. One, the fashion we all agree, the provision we all agree to, which both the Senate committee and the House committee agreed to, is that if you look at what we agreed, there should be electronic transmission of election results in real time, simultaneously with issuing DVs from EC8 to the party agents. So from EC8 being given to party agent is already your fallback. But so it's not as if we are saying that when the results has been declared, nobody collects any physical receipt. We just press the button and we go away. No. It is in that situation, if we were to press the button and go away, and some witchcraft, which they are imagining in their head, happens to the machine, and the thing doesn't go anywhere, that's when you can say, well, we don't know what happened. But what we are doing now is the equivalent of you graduating from a university, and you are given your diploma, and your parents, everybody is there, and you are the clap for you collect your diploma. That's a proof that you graduated from that university. But for you to take your result from Georgia Tech and send it to Harvard University in Massachusetts, the school will send it electronically. True. So your human agency is not required. But it doesn't mean that electronic transmission among universities is what is going to prove that you graduated from there, because they give you the diploma already. So every party agent who is willing already got a copy of the result. Then the result is electronically transmitted. So you lose nothing. You lose nothing. And then on the issue of if there is a problem with bandwidth, network, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any difference, because if you have a place, first, the way the machine is designed, it doesn't rely on one service provider. It has a relay of them in it. So it travels in mainly microseconds around all the networks to find which one works. And the way it's configured, it doesn't need much megabytes to go.
Okay.
It doesn't. 3, once you press send in the presence of everybody, you cannot unsend. So even if it is delayed, everybody knows that it's gone. It's like when I press send in an email, and it whips out. All of us know we have sent that email.
We have sent email, yeah.
You cannot unsend an email. So if the person you send the email to happens to be a ranger in the bush and cannot download the email, when it comes to city, you will see it.
They will see it eventually.
And at the timestamp, everything will be there. So, and we have used this IRF BFAST link. We have used it in 165 separate elections in every part of Nigeria. There is no polling booth in Nigeria, not one, that they have not used BVAS before. And even at its worst, the failure rate is less than 1%. And in Nigeria, we've never had an election so close that 1% makes a difference. So there's no reason to give. So you can finish your election on Saturday morning, which is our typical election day, unlike the US where we have Tuesdays. So we can do election on Saturday, and you send to the IRF. Some will go in milliseconds. Some, they will still be downloading by Monday. But everybody knows that nobody can change it. And then the result in your hand, the problem that they are afraid of, which they can't do anything about, is that in the past, you could see a Labour Party agent or SDP agent or Accord Party agent or any party agent and say, oh boy, listen, how much did your party give you to come and stand here? I give you 50,000 naira. Bring that research sheet. They write a new one, they give it to you. A new one consistent with the rigging they want to do.
Wow.
But with the IRF, they're just wasting your money. Because even that agent wants to betray his party, the party is already seen the result on the IRF.
Absolutely.
So you're wasting your time. In some places where the agent is incorruptible, they can say, you're not coming to the collation center. So they will start to create violence, fighting, and you can't access the police will cordon here, this one will cordon there, they will tear gas here. So when they get to the collation center, they use a different result. So you are stuck with this one, and once the man who is the returning officer open his guilty mouth or innocent mouth
to announce the result,
pronounce the correct result or the rigged result, the law takes effect. Go to court.
Wow. Let me ask you this. I mean, I have 2 more questions for you. So, why don't you trust the Tinubu government, to conduct a credible election? I'm sure, I mean, he is in power. He didn't conduct the last election. So I mean, it's a new president. That's still
very simple matter.
Yes.
because Tinubu does not trust himself to conduct a credible election. I even trust him more than he trusts himself.
Okay.
That is why they are trying to rig the rules. His spokesperson, Sunday Dare, has been on a crying routine all over media houses, saying that President Tinubu will not sign for electronic transmission. So it's like a referee saying that I will not use VAR, never, no matter how controversial the goal is or I will not use VAR right from the beginning. What is he telling you? He's telling you that he's not an honest person. Because as a president of Nigeria, I have no reason not to trust you, because that office is an office of trust. And I myself, I am praying and working hard to go to that office. So I believe that if I can execute that office with honesty and integrity, the next person too, I'm not the only person. God cannot be so unkind that I'm the only good person on this planet. So I also want to give credit to the other person, my opponent, that he too will execute the office with integrity and dignity. However, where the person is already there and is already misbehaving, and is behaving in particular reference to the subject matter, which is elections.
Election, yeah.
And he has also expressed in clear terms his philosophy about how to acquire power, which is patently undemocratic, which is to say, power is not given. The power is snatched. You grab it.
It's not served a la carte.
Yes. Whereas the democracy that we are under says the power is served a la carte. You go to the people and say, my name is Adebalogun, I'm the right person for this position. You make your case. Then they say, okay, stay to one side. Yeah, Adebayo, come. I come there, I give my own case. Then they say, okay, Tinubu, come. So when they listen to us, they give us what we deserve in their own point of view. They give us a la carte. But he says, no. You don't waste your time campaigning to anybody. You don't waste your time obeying any law. We are non-conformists in APC. We snatch it, we grab it, and we run away with it. So you, the owner of the power, can be crying. But we have snatched it, we grabbed it, we have run away with it. So and then they're now passing upward laws, delaying passing laws, not treating INEC budget on time, doing all sorts of distracting and discouraging things that if you speak to INEC people, they are kind of dejected. Like, okay, we don't know what this government wants us to do, but we know what we ought to do. So, and they don't have confidence in themselves that they can do a free and fair election and that they can win it. So even if you have a political party that has only 7 members in only 3 states, they still wooing people, come to our side, come and join us. They are bribing people, they are harassing people, they are creating factions. What for what? So these are the reasons why it is not reasonable, it is quixotic, it is naive for anyone to say, I trust President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to against his own words, against his own acts, against his own general philosophy, that you just have invested all your faith in him that he's going to do free and fair election. No, it's not.
Okay. You said, I mean, I watched a press conference you attended with Okuni, Professor Tommy, and some other guys, Honorable Bugaji, and you said there won't be election in 2027 without e-transmission. So my question on this is, do you mean a boycott, a mass resistance, or a legal crisis or just a breakdown of legitimacy? What do you mean by that particular statement? That's
Everything will result from that. Because Nigerians will have to ask themselves, who owns this country now? Can a government just decide to make elections a failure before it starts? Just because they have the constitutional authority to facilitate the election, which is the case all over the world.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, so, and if they have already killed the baby before it's born, what's the point of organizing a naming ceremony? So you might as well just say they have failed fundamentally in their constitutional duty as a government. And because democracy is superior to a government of the day, what they are looking for is they are now looking just the way internationally they have been supervised. Unfortunately for Nigeria, they have been supervised from abroad regarding national security. And they have been supervised in the economy. They also want to be supervised now in the democracy. It means that we will now be looking for a neutral body. And since they cannot go and do the election alone, it means that their tenure will end and they will go. Someone else will come and do the election. Because if the opposition doesn't have confidence in the election, the president alone cannot go and contest election on his own. I know he might have a picture of Pobia in his bedroom, but that fantasy is for him. In this country, we defeated the military. We defeated Britain at the height of at the zenith of his empire. They left us alone. Okay. So Tinubu's presidency or government has an easy path. Conduct the election, have legitimate laws, all agreed by Nigerians. You are not the owner of National Assembly. Let us have the rules. Let us now start playing by the rules. You have all other advantages in your favor. You are controlling the budget. You are controlling the law enforcement. You are controlling the media. You have all right now, as I'm talking to you, if I was the president of Nigeria, every station would tune in to say the president is speaking on the state of the nation. With Atlanta discourse. Let us join.
Let's join. Yeah.
So you have the audience. Make your case. Even though you have no ambassadors for Nigeria anywhere in the world, apart from the few people you sent a few weeks ago, you have Renew Hope ambassadors everywhere. Use them to convince the people. It's a different case if we have the rules from the beginning and we are unknowingly being fooled, and then on the election day they switch. But right from the beginning, they are telling us we are not going to play by the rules. So you now tell me at the beginning of a match, a football match, I'm coming to the field, coming from the pitch, from the dressing room, I'm coming to the pitch. I've already seen 4-0 written on the scoreboard. Well, we have not even blown the whistle. So you are telling me to continue to start the match. I'll tell you, no. Who scored? Where did you score 4 against me? We've not even started the match. So we'll take it like that. Then definitely the match will not go on.
Wow. Thank you, Prince. Thank you so much for shedding light and making it very clear. I mean, we need to have free and fair election. It's very important for everybody, for the country, even for the president. You know, it says a lot about who we are and what we are, fighting tooth and nail to stop a fantastic process from taking its due course. It's a major aberration. So hopefully on Monday they want to harmonize. And I mean, I read the House of Representatives version. It seems more of what the people want. Hopefully when they get together. But the key thing there is that whether e-transfer or not, I've been in countries where they were voting in Africa. and they were just doing paper voting, and nobody was injured, nobody was attacked, nothing happened. People just voted, and and some hours later, the following day, they announced. So we should reach that stage, where the police who are not even sure they will do their job. So thank you, Prince, so much. I wish you well in all your endeavors, and hopefully we will have a free and fair election. And I'm sure the president is listening. Vox populi, vox Dei, they say. It's we have reached a point whereby we just can't continue like this forever. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you for honoring our call.
Thank you, and
Yeah,
God bless Nigeria.
God bless you too. It's a wrap there. Thank you, everybody. See you next week.